All right, for those of you on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and Rumble, hello to you guys. Happy Saturday to you. And now we're live on our Spreaker format. So hello to you guys on Spreaker, and of course now we've been live on with our friends there on TikTok. So now we're live on all of our formats, and here we are. Yeah. So I appreciate everybody being here. So happy Saturday to you wherever you are in this beautiful world. I tell you what, it's been a very busy day today, but it's been a productive day. You know, when you have good days with productive, you know, that's a good thing. You know, when you have like really long days, like, oh, and you don't feel like you've accomplished anything. I hate those days. Hate them. But today I had quite a few meetings. Yeah, but we're good. We're good. Everything is, it's been busy, but a good busy. Very, very good busy. I'm a workaholic anyway. It doesn't matter. I can't sit still. My brain just won't allow it. My brain says, "Oh, you got to do this, and it won't shut up." It's like, shut up. Take a take a Valium or something. I don't know. Just be quiet. It's constantly go. You got to do this. Don't forget this. Don't forget to update the website. Don't forget to, it's just that's just the way my brain is. It's just the way I'm wired, and that's okay. That's all right. Okay, everybody, if you want to go to my website because you're really bored and you want to have something to put you to, I actually do yoga, Roxy. Yoga is one of the best things in the world. And we're going to talk about yoga. For those people who say, oh, yoga is the work of the devil, shut up. Shut up. That is the most ridiculous, idiotic thing I've ever heard in my life. I have heard preachers say, if you do yoga, you're worshiping the devil. Oh. Okay, clown. Okay, whatever. Seriously, I'm stretching. And while I'm stretching, I'm not going, the pagan god of rain. It's called stretching. You're exercising. You're strengthening your muscles. And let me tell you something. It is the most preposterous thing in the world. When you do yoga, you're stretching your body. You're strengthening your muscles. I am not meditating on the god of rain while I'm stretching. Believe me, I'm not meditating on anything except for, okay, that really hurts. Can I please stop doing this yoga now? That's what I'm meditating on. I'm not meditating on anything else other than that. So I will tell you, yoga is tremendous. I have stenosis and degenerative disc disease, and I also have a herniated disc. Yoga, honest to God, if I did not do it, I wouldn't be sitting here doing the show right now with you. Because I do yoga, I am able to sit here and do 2-3 hours without being in extreme pain. And the best thing, by the way, if you have like stenosis or especially degenerative disc, or if you have a herniated disc, the best thing you can do, it's a snake pose. They call it the Cobra vote, several, but you lay flat down, stomach, your feet here, obviously your head up here. And what you do is on your arms, you push up and you just slowly push up this way, just like that. So this is your torso, this is your torso, and you're just stretching, you just stretch like that. That is the best. I swear that's honest to God, that yoga pose saved my back. It saved it. So if you have herniated disc, obviously talk to your doctor, but I love that is the best thing in the world, the best thing to do. At least for me, it was. And so anyway, okay, a couple things. If you want to go to my website because you're really, really bored and you have nothing else better to do and you probably want to read something that puts you to sleep, well, you can go to bishopjameslong.com, bishopjameslong.com. So that's the website, bishopjameslong.com. Now, if you want to take the classes, for the hater gators out there saying, you're always doing things for money. Well, first of all, no, hater gator. I don't charge. I don't get paid as clergy. I don't receive a paycheck and I don't receive a stipend. So thanks for hating. And secondly, I don't charge. I've never charged for my ministry in over 20 years that I've done this. I've never charged one person 1 penny. So hater gators, go someplace else, trope. Bye-bye. Shoot. And by the way, I have 4 classes that I put together that I put a tremendous amount of work on, and we're giving those away too for free. So, hater gators, you can go away and go scream and shout someplace else because we really don't want to deal with pestilent adults who act like children. Anyway, so if you want to go bishopjameslong.com, bishopjameslong.com, click on the class link, and all the classes are free. And these are really in depth. These are very, very in depth. Yeah, we will just a second. These are in depth classes. So they're demonology, angelology, paranormal studies, and genealogy. So you can go there and you can take all classes for free. Now, if you want to go to the church's website, people are asking, usocc.org. That is the website, usocc.org. Now, before anybody comes in and says, oh, well, you're not this Catholic, or you're not that Catholic, or you're not that Catholic. Well, if you're Roman Catholic and you're doing that, you're actually violating what the pontiff said not to do. He said you are not to ever go to someone and say, well, you're not Roman Catholic, so therefore you're not in the right church, because actually he called that a grave sin against ecumenism. So if you are doing that, you are also not Roman Catholic, just to make that clear, because you have to follow what the pontiff says as a Roman Catholic. That's your responsibility. So for the hater gators out there that's going to say that, well, then you are not following what Pope Francis said to do. There was a reporter that asked him and said, should we go to somebody who's a Lutheran or Episcopalian or something of this nature and try to convert them to Roman Catholicism? And he said, no, no, no. That is a grave, he called it a grave sin. Not just a grave sin against ecumenism. You can Google that. So if anybody, Billy, thank you, but no. So if anybody, just leave people alone. It's very simple. So anyway, usocc.org. I want to remind tomorrow we're going to be here, of course, for our Bible study. Thank you, Billy. I appreciate that. But we'll get to them in just a second. I promise you. I have to get through all the business aspect of it. But we have Bible study tomorrow, and we would love to have you guys, be there and participate and just join us. It's it's at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. Okay, so 8 p.m. Eastern Standard, and everybody's invited. I have income. I just this ministry. I have no income from ministry, so this is the ministry, and there's nothing wrong. And let me just make this clear. I have no problems with the clergy, receiving a salary. They should. I mean, clergy should receive salary. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. However, with the community that I belong to, we do not pay our clergy. So the ministry that we do is 100% free. 100%. Meaning that we don't get paid. So although we have every right to get paid, and clergy has every right to receive a salary, because after all, we do still have bills to pay like everybody else. We do not. Our clergy are the church community that I belong to. And primarily the reason is, and the reason being is because we don't focus on the money generating income. I think he sounds like of his own voice more than taking questions. Hey, Gareth, I appreciate you being here and being a hater gator. But before you judge, perhaps maybe you should actually get to know me, because I'm here actually quite often, and I'm actually take quite a few questions. So I tell you what, Gareth says, thinks he likes the sound of his own voice more than taking questions. You're absolutely right, Gareth. So let me introduce you to what's called a block button. Bye-bye, troll. See, we don't deal with trolls here. We are adults, and we don't put up with that nonsense. As a matter of fact, bye-bye. Sub chat only. Okay, see how easy that is? Just like that. I know. People are just rude. It just, people are so entitled and just so disrespectful. So bye-bye. Bye-bye, troll. Now he's probably stomping his feet and actually probably signing into a new account because we're no longer paying attention to the pestilent adult baby. Okay. Also, for those of you who are asking questions on TikTok, folks, the moderators have been here for a long time. They have I'm telling you, they have heard every single answer, pretty much. Well, not every, but pretty much a big chunk of answers that I have answered. Well, thank you, Jan, that people ask all the time. All the time. So they know exactly what I'm going to say before I even say it because I've answered the question so many times. Like, for example, did you hear about the Pope opening up those doors? What do you think about that, Bishop? Nothing. It's been happening since the 14th century. So they already know the answer because I've answered the question so many times. So if you ask a question on TikTok, and sometimes Judy Ann's even in here on Facebook, if you ask a question and they answer it, it's because they already know what I'm going to say because I've answered it so many times. Now, if it's a theological question that I've not answered before, well, sure, then I'll jump in and I'll answer it. But we just want you guys to know that, we want your questions to be answered. Well, thank you. That's very nice. I've never seen that. We want your questions to be answered, and I may not be able to get to all of them, but trust me, if the moderators are answering them, it's because they have heard the question a million times. It's a million times. So anyway, there we go. Oh, wow, that's beautiful, Lynn. Sorry, the people are offering gifts on TikTok. That's I've never seen that. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. So that's how we're going to do it. And we'll open up the chat to everybody in a little later. When we get off here off of Spreaker and Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, then we're going to bring in, we're going to go on TikTok. I might stay on Spreaker, but we'll go on TikTok and bring up the moderators because we like to do a moderator roundtable so that you guys can ask questions and we just have a good conversation. Saturday night, we just chill. It's open mic night. It is open mic night, and that's what we do here. All right, and very, very quickly, I'm going to be at New Jersey in to the 25th of January. So if you're in the Newark area, thank you there, Jerry. If you're in the Newark area, the Clark Holiday Inn. So what you need to do is go to BruceTango, TANGO.com, BruceTango.com, and click on the exorcism link and make sure you get your tickets. It's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. So make sure if you're in the Newark area, I very rarely travel, very rarely. So this is going to be a fun time. Looking forward to it. All right, so let's get into it. We always, of course, have Miss Wilma in with us, and of course with Judy Ann. But why not? We'll just this is going to be their introductions, I reckon. All right. So hello there. First of all, Miss Wilma is not with us tonight. Miss Wilma is very sick, and she's coughing her lungs out. She has bronchitis and having bronchial spasms. So there's no way we tried to talk to her earlier today before we went on. I was like, Wilma, we can't even understand you. So unfortunately, she's just she's sick. She's sickly, but we know why she's sickly. She's been given smooches, holiday smooches to her little Walmart boyfriends. That's what that's all about. So
that's what I thought.
That's the truth. That is the truth. She's been giving holiday smooches, Christmas smooches to her Walmart boyfriends. And if she's watching this, I guarantee I did not. I did not. Okay, well, hello there to you, Miss. Yeah, the mistletoe. That's right. How are you doing there, Judy Ann?
Well, I'm doing better than Miss Wilma because I wasn't out partying with my Walmart boyfriends.
Mm-hmm. So we know the truth. We know the truth.
Oh, can you imagine what she's saying right now?
Oh, my goodness.
I have to address something earlier when you were discussing some of the ailments that you have. You were talking about yoga being so therapeutic and also beneficial for stenosis and degenerative disc disease. But do you know what's even better than yoga?
Well, for me, actually, what's better is a sauna. True.
It's even better than that.
Oh,
no, I've got something that's even better.
Okay, let's hear it.
Pecan pie. It makes the world better.
Okay, you know what? I thought you were actually going to really give some type of really good information. Now, I love pecan pie, but for those of you, no, that was not
good information.
Already, you got a boo for that, and you deserve a boo for that. Now, I love pecan pie. I love pecan, but that's ain't gonna help my back.
You know what? You're outvoted here because I'm watching the feed and everybody's agreeing with me pretty much.
Actually, if you
So-
eat too much pecan pie, then you put on more weight. And if you put on more weight, actually, that's going to hurt your back even more. So therefore, your idea of pecan pie is absolutely 100% incorrect.
No,
Is that
no,
right?
It doesn't make you fat.
Thank
It
you
makes
very
you
much.
fluffy.
You know,
right?
fluffy.
Remember
Is that
that.
what you call it? Fluffy?
Yeah.
You call it fluffy?
You know, I had to get a jump start on you tonight because I'm kind of carrying the show. You know, Miss Wilma and I'm by myself. I'm carrying it by myself.
Yeah, but pecan pie is good. Now, I love my pecan pie. Let me tell you something. And peach apple cobbler. Oh my goodness gracious, that's good too. Yeah, but I can't.
It's good.
You know. Here's what. Did you know that at Wall to the Mart they have these really small? It's their little round pecan pie, very small. They're like $1. Have you ever seen them? If you've been to Walmart?
Yes.
They are. Do you know they're 300 calories for that one tiny little bitty thing? 300 calories.
Well,
that's a lot.
I don't think they're worth the calories because homemade is so much better. I make a really mean crust and I do them up right. I'll have to make one someday. But one thing I want you to do, if you will, is to please share that recipe of your mother's of the green bean and potato casserole.
Oh, isn't it good? Isn't it good? Well, you've never had. Have you ever?
I don't know.
I tell you what, it is phenomenal. My mom never thought that she was a good cook. She just thought, because I told her, I said, you know, you need to make a cookbook, and she's like, I don't know how to do all that. I mean, I'm just a Southern mom cooking kind of, you know. But everybody loved my mom's cooking. So what I told her, I said, I tell you what, then just give me a recipe book and write down the recipes. And she did. I still have the recipe. She gave that one. That's one of the gifts that she gave me for Christmas. It was her whole handwritten recipe book, because I said, that's what I want. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to make you a book. And so I did. And so now she has her own little, she's passed away in 2014, but she now has her own little cookbook out there. And so I think I'm going to, I don't know. You know what? Let me see if I used to have it on online, but I guess I don't have it anymore.
Oh, that would be wonderful, because I've been craving that ever since you mentioned it, and I would love to have her recipe.
I'm telling you, it's really is good stuff. I mean, she was such an amazing. It was just Southern cook, Southern home cooking. If you've ever, okay, I talked to you. Have you ever been to? You've been to Cracker Barrel?
Oh yes.
Okay, that's my mom's. That's my mom's cooking, but a little better. I mean, because it was. It's more home style.
You have to share that. You have to share that.
I'm going to. Let me see. I'm going to look at. I'm going to put this on my. I'm going to put this on my website. I am. So I'm going to do that, because I
hope you do.
I will.
I hope you do. And I also have a bone to pick with you.
You have a bone.
You know, you were showing all of these nice gifts, and Grace is such a talented artist, and the cards and the shirt and everything that people had sent you, and you never said one word about my senior moments mints that I gave you.
I did.
For your senior moments.
You clearly have already forgotten, and that exactly is why you need the senior mints, not me, because when you purchased them,
all right, I admit that was a good comeback.
When you purchased them, I actually did show them. I even held them up.
I was really hurt by that. You know, I did my best.
Okay, let me explain it one more time. When you actually sent them, I did. I held them up right here and said, I have more of my little senior's mints right there. Obviously, somebody wasn't paying attention.
Oh! Now Jack's Paranormal is giving me a hard time about that.
See, Captain River, he sure did. He sure did. By God, I did. I'll tell you what.
But you know, well, anyway, it was close. It was before Christmas when I sent you those, and you were praising everybody for these Christmas gifts, and I thought, gosh, I gave you those wonderful senior moments mints.
I'm sorry. What? My bad. Sorry. But I did talk about your painting, which your picture, which I don't want to take it off my wall, but it's beautiful. It's a
painting, but it's It's not a painting,
It's
though.
a
Remember,
picture.
that is
It's a
an
picture.
actual.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Oh, that's okay.
it's absolutely
You don't
gorgeous.
have to do that.
Well,
Well, I'm glad you like
I
it.
showed the calendar. Remember?
You showed it. You
Boy,
showed it.
somebody.
Yes, you did.
Oh.
I'm not asking for that. I just wanted a little more praise for the Senior Moments mints because I thought it was clever and apropos. There you go.
I did. I talked about them. Okay, everybody here. Judy Ann got the senior mints. Senior mints. There we go. There we go.
Oh
I
my
just
goodness.
busted everybody's eardrums. I tell you what. Why? Want some
I'm
cheese?
watching you, Jack Paranormal. I see what you're saying in that feed.
Yes, I did. I absolutely did. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yes, I did.
Oh, I know.
So, but
It's all in fun.
yeah, it is. It is until somebody gets hurt because you didn't do that. I'm telling
You ignore me.
Oh, I've got to figure out how I can I haven't really I've got to figure out how I can add I'm gonna have to
mute the moderator?
No. I'm gonna figure out how I can put this on my website, my mom's cookbook, because I don't know why I didn't do that. That's kind of dumb.
Oh, that's going to be wonderful. I'll send you a reminder note, but I would love to have that recipe. I love stuff like that.
Yeah.
Southern cooking is the best.
I think so too. I really do. I think.
Did your mom have some really good homemade cookie recipes as well?
Yeah, it was a bit, Betty Crocker. It's the Betty Crocker cookie mix, the chocolate chip cookies, but she put walnuts in it, and I always make it every single time. We have a family get together. I always make her cookies. Now my sister Jennifer, she can cook just like my mom. I mean, just like her. But they both, my sisters have said that they cannot cook my mom's cookies. They just can't make it taste like it. So for some reason, I got my mom's cookies recipe down, and they got everything else down. So yeah, it's pretty nice when Jennifer's. So I think that's cool. Well, thank you. So there we are.
We all look forward to meeting her one day in heaven. Because that's going to happen.
That will absolutely positively happen. And I'm trying to find out how to.
You'll figure that out. And Alex just said something so kind, a beautiful tribute to your mother. God bless her. Isn't that wonderful? We have some great people that are part of this group.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I don't know what we'd do without them.
No, I concur. Yeah. I'll figure out how to get the URL for that and then let everybody know. And because it was just a simple cookbook, but it was nice because now she has, and Wilma, she always makes my mom's, it's like reindeer, I think cookies. I think that's what Wilma does with Rice Krispies or something. I think and everybody loves it. So I think, or something like that. But anyway, I'll put it up there on the website eventually when I remember.
That's great. Ever since you mentioned the potato and green bean casserole, or the dish that she makes, I have been wanting to make that, and I'm so curious about the recipe, and I know it's going to be delicious.
It is. She was, like I said, she was just an old-fashioned Southern style cooking that it was
the best.
Very talented. She's very talented. Very talented.
The best kind.
So how are things going over there with you?
Fantastic. My back is sore from carrying all those delicious pies.
Oh, I imagine so. Yeah.
And my right arm, I'm right-handed, but the fork lifting it to my mouth, I prefer the shovel method.
The shovel, just throw it in there. Yeah. Now we all have to lose some weight since we kind of.
Oh boy.
Every time.
Yeah. Well, I got the treadmill right next to in my office, actually. So
good.
It's calling me.
You'll have to.
It's calling me.
You have to put it to work. So do you have any stories or anything that you want to share with us, or?
I do.
Mm-hmm.
I read this and I was just so impressed. I want to talk about heroes, and I want to ask everybody the question: what would you pay, or would you pay the price of being a hero like this young man? In September of 1976, a world champion fin swimmer, that's somebody who has, the little flippers on their feet and they do fin swimming. His name was or is Shavarsh Karapetyan. And he's from, I believe he is from Armenia. He was finishing a 13-mile training run. So he wasn't in the water, he was actually running. And he heard this really loud and odd sound. He was running along the roadway on the top of a dam. He turned around and saw a trolley bus had fallen over the dam and plunged down into that, it's Yerevan Lake, I believe.
Oh, wow.
He's 23 years old. He sprints over, he strips down, he dove into the sewage-strewn water. Now imagine that, to save as many people as he could. And it had zero visibility because of the sewage.
Oh, wow.
He swam 15 feet down. He got to the bus, but there was no opening. So he kicked out the rear window and shredded his legs. They were all cut up. So now imagine he can't see. He's in sewer and it's getting into, these wounds. But over the next 20 minutes, he brought 37 people to the surface. 20 of those people survived. Another 9 escaped on their own through that window that he had broken. Now, it left him with permanently scarred lungs. So, he's an athlete. That's what he does. But that's the price he paid for being a hero. He developed pneumonia and he spent the next 3 weeks in the hospital before he could even walk again. But here's the miracle.
Wow.
The following year, he participated in 2 final competitions and won a gold medal and broke his 11th world record before retiring. So God bless this man. His name is Shavarsh.
Where was this?
This was in Armenia.
Wow. That is, that's pretty impressive.
It's unbelievable. And I love all these comments in the feed that they would do it too. You would sacrifice your lungs to save lives. Yes, I would too. I would too.
Wow, that's
So
how much?
Yeah,
how
it's
how old
something.
how old was he? Do you know? Did it say?
He was 26. He was
Wow.
only 20. Wait a minute. Let me look at this again. He was 23. I apologize. He was 23.
That's pretty amazing. That's a lot of strength for a 23-year-old. I mean, that's pretty cool. Listen to this story. This is by Ben Hooper. There was a $100,000 winning lottery ticket. It was a Christmas gift from a friend. Talking about a heck of a gift. So a Baltimore man won a $100,000 prize from a scratch-off lottery ticket he received as a Christmas gift from a friend. The man told Maryland lottery officials that he and his wife each received a scratch-off ticket from a friend for Christmas. Says our good friend gave each of us a ticket as a gift. The player recalled, mine was a snowflake tripler scratch-off. I waited until my wife struck out with hers, and then I started scratching. The man revealed what initially appeared to be a $10,000 prize, but he soon realized it was actually $100,000. Says, I didn't believe it. Just couldn't believe what I was seeing. The man temporarily left the party so he can scan his ticket at a local store. When I got back to the party, the celebration went up a few notches. Man, can you imagine $100,000 gift?
I know. I know.
Would you?
Some people begrudge others for winning, and I'm always happy for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's great. But would you give your friend a big chunk of change?
I would have to. Well, actually, what I would do, I would buy that chapel. I would love to have the winning lottery ticket so we could get your chapel. Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, I think that would be very, very cool. I mean, it would be.
Can I ask you a question about that now? Would you do this in steps? Would you have a chapel where you can broadcast your show from? Or are you talking about having one where it seats maybe 50, 75 people? What would you do?
Well, the idea really, I mean, ultimately, a chapel. I would just like to have a chapel to where I can have the night prayer, have the Bible study, have the presentations there. I mean, that's the idea thing for me. I mean, it's what I've a simple chapel.
And even if it was small, you could still do ordination type.
Well, I mean, it depends.
It
depends. It depends on how. I mean, it couldn't be so small you couldn't move. I mean, there has to have some space in the sanctuary. So, yeah, because we've had ordinations in some pretty small places, and they make it for a miserable experience because it's just too
Okay.
restricted. So I mean, I wouldn't want it to be so small that you couldn't have 2 or 3 people in the sanctuary. So it would,
Sure.
but not. I also don't need 50 people or 20 people up there either. So, but yeah,
Mhm.
that would definitely be that. It would not be a mansion or anything like that. It would be, the
No,
idea would be
of
a
course
simple
not.
chapel. Simple chapel.
So you could even hold a small mass there. We could have midnight mass there.
Yeah.
That would be beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, I think if I recall correctly, you do better standing up. You like to walk around a little bit. It's easier on your back sometimes.
Yeah,
So you might like the
I don't like
traditional
this.
pulpit.
Well, I don't. Yeah, right. I don't like sitting for 2 hours and 2.5 hours. I would rather be
Right.
standing. And this is just such a restricted space that I'm in here now that it's just not possible. It's just not possible right now.
Mhm.
So maybe one day, if we can get
One day.
one day. Well, I keep saying that, but I keep getting older, and older, and that one day is slowly slipping by. So it's like, I don't
Well,
know.
when you figure out how to slow that down, you let me know.
Right,
But,
right. Yeah, but the chapels
well,
are so expensive. They're crazy.
I know they are, but I've been thinking about that so much and wondering, how can I do this? I'm just one person.
What? Yeah,
I would love to
that's
see that.
yeah. I don't think. I mean, it's just too expensive, and so. But we used to have an agreement with a Lutheran church in Louisville, and that was really pretty amazing because it was a beautiful church. And but it was old. It was older, and it had a lot of repairs that it was needed. And actually, in the winter, it was about $3,000 a month just to heat that place because it was such a it was a big
Oh,
big
yes.
church. I mean, it wasn't like 50 people. It was a pretty good sized church, and that was beautiful. We had midnight mass there. We had our masses there, and so we absolutely love that. So
Oh, yes.
yeah.
Those bills, maintenance can be quite limiting,
Yeah,
very
they
debilitating
eventually
for
had,
the budget.
they had to sell it because the upkeep was becoming
Sure.
so problem. And not only that, but the Lutherans they could not get people to go to the church, and so they were down to
Oh,
maybe sometimes 5 people, 10 people a Sunday, and that was not enough for upkeep. There was just no way. So
no, not at all.
yeah,
Well,
that's it. Hello there, Jennifer.
we'll have to figure that out. But I am short now. Is it time for us to move on to the show so you can answer questions and
No, we
all
got.
of this
I want to
stuff?
share. I want to share another story with you.
Okay, good.
Imagine this. This would be scary. This is by Ben Hooper as well. A venomous snake, a venomous tiger snake, was found under a baby's bouncy chair.
Oh,
And this is why I don't want to go to Australia. But an Australian snake catcher responded to a Melbourne area home where a deadly tiger snake was found lurking underneath a baby's bouncy chair. She, quote, "It's Christmas night and all is quiet in the house except for a tiger snake, which was sitting underneath a child's bouncer." Mark Pelly, the snake hunter, says in a video posted to social media. The video shows Pelly removing a highly venomous tiger snake from underneath the bouncy chair. It says when mom and dad noticed a tiger snake late at night crawl through the lounge and hide under a child's bouncer, they first had to double check their eyes. He wrote in the video's caption. The snake was safely relocated with no injuries to human or reptile. Can you imagine? I mean, that's scary stuff.
I saw that video. I believe I saw a video clip of that. And I agree with Lynn Whitsett. I'd have holes in the floor from the 410. I can't say the word because
Right.
trouble,
Yeah.
wow. You know what's beautiful though? There are no snakes like that in Alaska.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I see snakes and things like this. This is why I'm not in Australia. No. No offense to my friends in Australia, but
I know people are afraid of grizzly bears, and I have a healthy respect for them. Don't get me wrong, even though I spent so many months photographing, but I can see a grizzly bear coming. I don't want to be around snakes because you can't see them.
Right, especially
They can
copperheads.
slither right.
And in Kentucky, we have a lot of copperheads, rattlesnakes, and you got to be very, very careful with copperheads because you don't see them because they blend right in. And
Oh, yeah. They get aggressive at certain times of the year, too.
they get very aggressive. And copperhead bite is no joke. That is no joke
Well,
whatsoever. Listen to this.
that's
Is the kind
bad
of crazy.
stuff.
Ben Hoop writes this. I don't understand this. A police in Colorado. Figure this out. Help me understand this. A police in Colorado said a baby Jesus statue was reported stolen from a nativity scene. It was anonymously returned to a fire station with an apology note. So the Fort Collins Police Department originally posted on social media that the baby Jesus statue was taken from the nativity scene at Old Town Square. Police shared a security camera image of the Grinch absconding with the statue. The department said in an update that the statue was anonymously dropped off at Padre Fire Station number 1 in Fort Collins 4 days after the theft. The statue had a note taped to its face reading, "I'm really sorry. I made a dumb mistake in the moment. It won't happen again." Police said the business that owned the nativity scene are not seeking to press charges against the contrite thief. Why would you do that?
I don't know why you would do that, but more interesting to me is the change of heart that this person had returning it. Maybe he had some epiphany,
I don't know, but I mean, really, of all things, you're going to
I know.
steal a baby Jesus statue from a nativity scene. I mean, come on.
I know.
Yeah, some people, you know what, you scratch your head and you're like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I legit don't get that.
My goodness.
By the way, I am planning to see the brand new movie Nosferatu. I'm planning to see this because a lot of people that I know have seen it. Most people say this: either you're really going to love it, or you're really going to be, It's one or the other. So
What's it called?
Nosferatu.
Nosferatu?
Nosferatu. Yeah, it's the original Dracula. It's a vampire movie where it was prior to the Hollywood, Bram Stoker,
Yes.
So it's the Nosferatu, the silent vampire, film. But so apparently it's supposed to be really, really good. We will see. I don't know, but I am definitely, absolutely 1,000,000%. I am planning to see this. So definitely.
Good. You'll have to give us a full review of that movie.
Yeah, we'll have to see it. Yeah, just a matter of trying to get time to do it. That's the problem. That is the problem.
You have to make time for yourself. You've got to do that. Preserve your health.
Yeah, I know. But as soon as any of the sisters say, I go with you, but the problem is that my brain will be thinking, oh, I got to do this. Don't forget this. Don't forget this. And it's like, So anyway,
I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
I was reading about these bodies that they found. Some of these have been carbon dated to 955 BC. That's a long time ago. There were mummies found in Iran in the salt mines, and they were very well preserved. But my question is, have you heard of, because I'm not into the whole paranormal thing. I keep my distance from that.
Mm-hmm.
Are there hauntings of places where there are mummies? And for instance, in some of the Egyptian tombs, have you ever heard of hauntings?
Not only hauntings, but curses. So there are well-known curses that are in tradition that if you mess with the sarcophagus, if you mess with any of these, especially in the pyramids, or if you anything that they are, some are absolutely convinced that they are cursed, and you will be cursed. So yeah, they keep messing. They keep messing with this. I don't know.
When you did your angel presentation on Friday, that was, first of all, that was wonderful. And for any of you who weren't here and didn't see it, it's recorded. It's on YouTube and Facebook. You can go watch that. It was wonderful. I have to ask you a question about the seraphim. Is that the one with the 4 heads? The eagle, the ox, the man, and the lion.
Right. And
they're facing all different directions. I don't know how to phrase this question, but I think you'll know what I'm getting at. Is that something that Satan contaminated for the Egyptians?
Well, hold on. The cherubims have the 4 faces. They're the ones.
Okay, the cherubim.
And then the seraphim are the ones that have the wings. They have full eyes in the front, eyes in the back.
Okay. So the cherubim then with the 4 heads.
Right.
Is that something that Satan contaminated, so to speak? Is that why the Egyptians had these entities with the falcon head and all of this stuff? Is that Satan trying to throw people off because he actually saw, I don't know how to phrase the question.
Yeah, I don't understand the question. Yeah, we'll have to maybe talk after, because I have no idea what you mean.
Oh, I know what I want to ask, but I can't put it into words. I just wondered,
Well,
is that where they got part of the idea to do that?
Put it together. We'll talk about that tomorrow, and we'll try to figure out.
Okay.
We'll figure out that tomorrow. How's that?
I'll try to put it together. So,
all right.
Well, I guess it's time for me to sign off. And
okay. Well, then
and I will go back to moderating.
That sounds very, very, very good. And then eventually we'll open up to everybody, and we'll bring the moderators up. So we'll talk with you in just a second.
We'll talk a bit later.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right, everybody. That's our Judy Ann. Normally we had Miss Wilma with us, but Miss Wilma is sick, so she's under the weather. And there we are. So, yeah, no, I don't have a migraine today. Someone's asking on Messenger. Nope. I have a headache every day. That just goes without. That just kind of like that's what I deal with. Well, curses are certainly real. I just don't. I refuse to allow curses to play a role or control me. I just don't. I just don't get into being a victim, and so I just nope. Okay. By the way, for those, there's a lot of people who saw the fireballs over the southern area and southern states. Well, a lot of people are absolutely convinced it's the ETs or UFOs. It's actually not. I've seen the video. It's 1,000,000%. You can see actually the debris breaking up 100% breaking up into reentry. It is your typical breakup debris. But anyway, a fireball was seen over the U.S., identified as satellite remains. So Ben Hoover writes this as well. A series of bright fireballs that illuminated the night sky over the southern states was identified as the remains of a Chinese satellite. And witnesses report seeing a group of fireballs streaking across the sky Saturday night over Tennessee, Arkansas, and other southern states. Astronomer Jonathan McDowell said on social media that the light show was likely the remains of a decommissioned Gale Jean SuperView 102 satellite burning up in the atmosphere. So the commercial imaging satellite was launched in 2016, was decommissioned after 2 years. That's kind of dangerous. I mean, these satellites are not small. And sometimes there are things that they will melt upon reentry. But there are, some heavy duty, well, thank you thank you, Dog Norman. There are some heavy duty equipment up there, and gosh, that's pretty dangerous stuff. We keep throwing stuff up in space, and they come into the atmosphere. That's not something to play around with. So hopefully, the idea is when a satellite is decommissioned, sometimes they're able to push it out further into space, or they just simply are able to bring it into reentry over a large massive body of water, so that it's not supposed to reentry into land. But really, I mean, it's not an exact pinpoint. Okay, you can have this pretty much big geographical area, but even still, I think it's pretty dangerous. And of course, they also let people know, especially if you're in a plane, when you're 30, 40,000 feet above, the ground, they're fully aware of, okay, there's a reentry in the satellite in this area. So they let the aircraft know. But nonetheless, I mean, anything could happen on reentry, and mistakes can happen. And so it's pretty dangerous, right? Or hit a whale or something, or even a boat. But it's so large, they just say that the chances of that happening are slim. But still, nonetheless, I mean, if you're out in a boat and you're out in the ocean and this massive item comes right on you, that's it, you're done. Well, right here. All right, so you can just post the question right here, and we'll do the best we can to answer as many as we can. This is a pretty interesting, and I want to share this with you guys. And then we'll bring up just a second Molly Markowitz. So I try to stay on for about an hour, and then we go on TikTok. But Molly Markowitz by Fox News has reported this, A former defense official makes earth-shattering UFO revelation as unexplained drones leave millions on edge. This was posted on December the 25th. Testimony and several reports have exposed unidentified flying objects, the sightings across the country amid the national attention on apparent drone observations over recent weeks. Luis Elizondo, the former head of the Defense Department's Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, and other witnesses testified before Congress last month about an alleged government group hiding the fact that we are not alone in the cosmos. I'll answer that in just one second. Says, I believe, quote, I believe that we as Americans can handle the truth, and I also believe the world deserves the truth, Elizondo said, urging Congress to enact legislation protecting whistleblowers too afraid to come forward. Look, the fact is, I think that we are not alone. I don't believe that we're alone. I think there is other life in the universe. To think that we are the only life in this massive universe, I just simply think it's mathematically impossible. We should just look at it from that perspective alone. We are very small. We are a very small solar system compared to billions and billions of others, Milky Way just like our own. But several pilots also reported seeing 3 or 4 UFOs in the sky over Oregon flying at different altitudes just weeks ago. There are too many people, pilots, who are seeing these massive, gigantic flying UAPs, and they don't know what they are. So the pilots reported seeing strange red circular lights zipping around at night, and a United Airlines pilot contacted the control tower to talk about moving lights seen over Western Oregon. In April 2022, a witness said that she noticed a light in the sky over a reservoir in Connecticut, believing it was potentially a UAP or a UFO. They call them now an unidentified aerial phenomenon. It says, I'm always a sky watcher, so I was wondering if it was a plane, the woman told the outlet, but by the way it was moving, there's no way it was a plane. Here's what I'm going to say about the drones. I do not believe the drones are aliens. I just don't. And there's a very good reason why we are not removing the drones from the sky, because they cost millions and millions of dollars. And I believe they belong to the military. So what they're looking for, we can speculate all day long, but I obviously think that they're looking for something. But I also said that once they find it, you're going to see it kind of disappear, and it's going to be, people are not going to talk about it anymore. It's just going to disappear. Well, we're starting to see that. So I think there was some type of, perhaps a national threat, and they were looking for something that's, well, we don't know the orbs. We just simply don't know what these things can do. We have no idea what these drones can do. And we don't know what the orbs are. We just simply don't know. But I think that if it was a threat, we would have already removed it. They would have already been shot down, plain and simple. But we have not shot one down, not one. And there's a reason for that. So follow the money. Follow the money. It's quite clear to me, just from a logical perspective, that this is, I think, military based. We have no idea. I mean, there's drones pretty much. I mean, there's other countries that have drones. We're not the only ones that have drones. Drones have become pretty huge, actually. So, yeah, we'll have to see what going at the movie. I don't know if I want to see it, but right now I'm so slammed with things I've got to do. I just with ministry just keeping me busy. So yeah, but it looks like a good movie, the Nosferatu. But it's just one of those things. It's trying to get the time. That's the problem. Okay, this is an interesting. This is pretty interesting as well. Oh yeah, someone was asking me about. Someone was asking me, yeah, I have a subscriber only on for TikTok because I didn't want to deal with all the nonsense people, adults acting like kids. Actually, I was a kid and I didn't act like some of the trolls. But nonetheless, someone was asking about reincarnation. Now, I have a problem with reincarnation for a lot of reasons. You're supposed to reach nirvana, the highest state of consciousness. Okay, for not repeating the same mistakes you made in your previous life. Fine. Learning and all this other stuff. Okay, that's all good. That's all wonderful. The problem is you don't know the mistakes you've made in your previous life. So that's a huge issue. So if I lived a previous life, I have no idea. I don't even know who I was. I don't even know what I did. I don't even know what mistakes I made. Was I a pope? Was I a president? Was I a mom? Was I a dad? See, it's so preposterous, because if the whole idea is to learn from the mistakes so that you don't repeat them in your future life, well, if you don't know the mistakes you've made, you're doomed to repeat them again. So that in of itself is illogical. And also, quite honestly, when I pass away and I see Christ and I see my family and they're saying, come home, why would I come back? Why on earth? That makes no sense to me whatsoever. If the goal for me is, my goal is to get to heaven. That's what I want to do. I want to tell everybody I can about Christ and teach about Christ, and I want to get to heaven. That's my goal. My goal is not to come back so I can experience all this all over again. Why? Well, why would I? So I can experience, getting sick or losing my family and watching them getting sick. That's insane. Why would anybody put themselves through that? Doesn't make sense. So if the goal is to get to heaven and I am there and the pearly gates are opened, and then I'm going to say, you know what? Heaven looks really good. I mean, it looks really, but I'm going to go back and do all this all over again. No. Doesn't make sense to me. It makes no sense. So for me, the whole reincarnation thing, it just, that invalidates the whole purpose, or at least my goal in this life. But I get free will, I get it. But isn't the goal, wouldn't everybody's goal be to get to heaven? So you're not going to ever get sick again. You're not going to ever see your family get sick again and go through pain and suffering. You're not going to have to come back and do all this over again, where you have to worry about bills and worry about stress and worry about health and worry about your work, or you don't have to worry about. All that stuff is gone. Why would you come back and do it all over again? I just don't get it. The ultimate goal should be to get to heaven. That's the ultimate goal. At least I thought it was. So I don't know. I just, no, it doesn't make sense. So that's why I don't support a reincarnation. It just doesn't make sense to me. And people can say, well, maybe you passed away. Nope, Alex, incorrect, because you are judged. So there is no escaping hell. No, that's not scriptural at all. But I hear what you're saying, but no, that's not scriptural. It's the stories I hear of children speaking of how they pass and stuff. Oh, sure. A lot of biblical teachings don't make sense. Well, I'd be more than happy to teach you. If there are any biblical teachings that you're struggling with, that's why we have Bible study every Sunday and Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'd be more than happy to share, the knowledge that I have. That's what we do every Sunday and Wednesday. So yeah, I'll be happy to explain to the best of my ability. And because there's a lot of people, this is why I do Bible study, because there's a lot of there's a lot of stories in Scripture that perhaps maybe people they don't necessarily understand. They don't know why this happened or why this happened, and we do the best I can to explain. So I don't want to do this topic, so I'm going to put this down here, toss this away. This is an interesting conversation. This is an interesting story here. And this is one of the reasons why I do this ministry, meaning going to people's houses and help. This is by T.K. Randall. A terrified family begs counsel for a new house due to poltergeist activity. So the family maintains that their council house is haunted by a ghostly presence that has left them unable to live there. So the High Court in Ireland has recently been dealing with a rather spooky Christmas case concerning a council house that is said to be haunted by a poltergeist. Thomas and Louise Stokes told the court that the house their family had been moved into to get away from a mold problem in their previous home had left them terrified because of paranormal activity. This activity reported including objects being flown from side to side and items being flung around. Doors, tables, chairs were also seen moving around in front of their eyes. A letter from the house's previous occupant, described as beyond traumatic, was also present at the hearing. She says, everyone deserves a home. I never asked for a mansion. I asked for a safe home for my kids, said Louise. I just want somewhere safe for my kids 5 days before Christmas. In the end, however, High Court Mr. Justice Simmons struck out the family's claim against the Leitrim County Council because the case had been about their first house with the mold and not about the new one with the alleged haunting. And while he stated that he understood their concerns about the safety of their kids, he concluded that claiming for a third house would require a whole new application to the local authority. And whether the family will spend Christmas with their resident poltergeist, however, remains unclear. So I don't know exactly how the details go with the council and getting homes and a council house and all that stuff. But apparently, I guess it's some type of a housing program. It is, look, this is why when I get involved and I help families, they are legitimately terrified. And this is why I have helped for over 20 years now, because there's a lot of clergy. There's a lot of clergy that want nothing to do with this type of ministry. They want nothing to do with it. And there's a lot of people who just dismiss it too. So, just nonsense, just Hollywood. But, it's stuff is real. It is real. It does exist. And there we go. I'm going to next week, we're going to talk about Nostradamus and his alleged predictions for 2025. They always do that. Okay. No, I don't want to do that. Yeah, there was a story about, let's see if I can find it. Yeah, there was a researcher, I guess because he was perhaps bored and just wanted to try something fun. He decided to try to calculate how fast Santa Claus was, in fact, traveling on Christmas Eve. That's interesting. It's interesting. Will indulge me for a moment. This, of course, is by Chris and Ralph. It says, just how fast would Santa needed to have been going to deliver all the presents within the space of one evening? Well, Laura Nicole Dreisen, with billions of children around the world anxiously awaiting for their presents, Father Christmas, Santa, and his reindeer must be traveling at breakneck speed to deliver them all in one night. But did you know that light from an object traveling at high speeds changes color? Well, this is thanks to what is called the Doppler effect. Now, the way speed affects the length of waves such as sound or light. And when light changes color due to speed, we call it red shift or blue shift, depending on the direction. And if we could catch the color of Rudolph's famous red nose with one of our telescopes, we would use the Doppler effect to measure the speed of Father Christmas. So anyway, it says, how far do you Father Christmas and his reindeer need to travel? Well, strap into your sleigh for some light Christmas math. She said, I've updated a method proposed in 1998 to work out how fast Rudolph and Father Christmas needed to travel to deliver all the required presents. There are approximately 2 billion children under the age of 14 years in the world, and approximately 93% of the countries observe Christmas in some way. So we'll assume 93% of all children do. And we know that Father Christmas only delivers presents to those who truly believe. Now, if we assume that the same percentage of believers by age group as found in the United States, that leaves us with approximately 690 million children. Okay, with about 2.3% per household worldwide, he has to visit roughly 300 million households. And spreading those households evenly across 69 million kilometers of habitable land area on Earth, of course, Father Christmas has to travel 144 million kilometers on Christmas Eve. That's a lot. 144 million kilometers. That's nearly the same as the distance from the Earth to the sun. But luckily, Santa Claus has time zones on his sides with 35 hours between dropping off the first and the last present. So let's say that Father Christmas uses half his time to zip in and out of each household, which gives him 17.5 hours, or basically 2 milliseconds per household. He uses the other 17.5 hours for traveling. So my hypothesis, the person says, is that he needs to travel at a whopping 8.2 million kilometers per hour. That's pretty fast. He wasn't playing around. So for those of you who are really excited about knowing how fast Santa Claus knows, now you know the answer. Okay. Yeah, I think we can. Oh, geez, this is ridiculous. I got to share this with you. And then we'll bring on the moderators. Listen to this, everybody. Uri Geller. This is the title. Uri Geller, this is from Uri Geller. Why I believe aliens gave Jesus his power to perform miracles. He said, because the same thing happened to me, and here's my astonishing physical proof. Uri Geller. Anyway, he said, when I was 6 years old, I used to play outdoors on my own with my favorite toy, a rag ball. And I took it everywhere, even clutching it when I slept. And so one day, when it rolled between railings in a deserted garden, I squeezed to retrieve it. And what happened in the garden changed my life. It showed me beyond doubt that humans are not alone in the universe, and that some sort of extraterrestrial intelligence is watching us. Anyway, what's more is I have physical proof of this, which is I have carried with me for more than 70 years. It's a source of my paranormal abilities, including the power to bend metal with my mind. Anyway. More extraordinarily still, I have a theory that Jesus too could have received this unique powers to performing miracles from aliens. I do not mean any disrespect to devout Christians. Oh no, really, I don't mean to any disrespect to devout Christians who believe that Jesus was the Son of God. On the contrary, I believe the young carpenter from Nazareth is one of the most significant figures who ever lived. Yeah, Uri, but you just said that he got his powers from aliens. Give me a break. Anyway, I'm fully convinced by accounts of the miracles Jesus performed, such as healing with a touch, walking on water, and even raising the dead. And although I'm Jewish, Christmas is one of my favorite times of the year, blah, blah. To the dismay of our rabbi, my wife, Hannah, and I would always decorate the huge, okay, fine, I don't care. I was born 5 days before Christmas, okay. When my parents arrived in Israel after fleeing the Holocaust, it was a cop, okay, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so he goes on and on and on and on. So ultimately he says that he thinks that Jesus, I don't want to even read this anymore. It's blasphemy. That Jesus received his powers from an alien. I mean, come on. You know what? Just stop. I mean, really, every single Christmas, people always have to diminish Christ's divinity. Every single Christmas. Whether they spread lies about, the story, they stole from the Horus, which is all bull. They stole from all these other pagan gods. Every year they do this, and every single Christmas. And now, of course, now Jesus received his powers from aliens. Sometimes you just have to, just kind of tune that kind of crap out because it's just so stupid. But it just, I don't know. There are things, let me tell you something. There are 6 things you have to walk away from in life. 6 things. Walk away from useless arguments is number 1. Only people who have no meaning in their life debate topics that don't matter. Walk away from people who deliberately put you down. So don't choose friends who lie and say that you're perfect. Instead, choose friends who honestly help you become better. And walk away from trying to win over those who refuse to recognize your value. And I'm telling you, this is the way I live my life, and hopefully this will help some of you. So walk away. If they don't recognize your value, bye. Walk away from regrets and grudges. Forgive yourself and others, allowing space for healing and moving forward. Walk away from judgmental people. They don't know the struggle that you're facing. and then walk away from your mistakes and fears, because they don't define you, because everybody makes mistakes. And it's those who learn from them and persevere, those are the ones that find success. So walk away from useless arguments, walk away from people who deliberately put you down, walk away from trying to win people over who refuse to recognize your value, walk away from judgmental people, and walk away from your mistakes and fears. And everybody else can, find people who are going to help you, because there's a difference between constructive criticism and destructive criticism. The trolls offer destructive criticism because they don't want to see you do better. They just want to try to destroy you because they're sadistic human beings and they actually enjoy causing emotional and intellectual pain on people. That's sadism. It's interesting. So do serial killers. But nonetheless, constructive criticism is people who actually try to help you. Say, hey, look, you did something that way. You shouldn't have, told me to talk to that person that way. You kind of were short-tempered with them. There's a big difference. All right. So we're going to wrap this up. I know we have a lot of people on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Rumble. So here's what we do. We're going to be on TikTok for just a little longer. I'm going to open it up for everybody. I had to put sub chat only on because of trolls, adults who act like pestilent little kids. So we had to do sub chat only to make them go away because they have nothing else better to do than to harass clergy on a Saturday night. But nonetheless, so we're going to head on over there and bring the moderators up, and then we just have a conversation. So I'm going to remind everybody, tomorrow we're going to be here at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our Bible study. It's open to everybody. We would love to have you guys there. Please show up. And, and don't forget, Christmas is still going on. Christmas still goes on. Well, thank you. Christmas still goes on until January the 6th. That's Epiphany. So we're going to keep, Christmas isn't over. So hopefully we'll see you guys there. So for those of you on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and Rumble, remember I tell you, your value does not decrease based on a troll's inability or refusal to see your worth. You're priceless, and don't let any troll tell you or convince you otherwise. Good night.